All right, time for sports. Myers here with that in mind.
Let's now. Quite often we talk about track and field. It's the track that gets more attention than the field. But that wasn't the case at UVic Centennial Stadium last night. Canada's Dylan Armstrong put on quite the show as the crowds came out to watch shot put. Yes, they were traded to a full slate of top-tier track, though. Bit of a chilly night in the grandstand, but more than 1,000 fans that came out didn't seem to mind. Burnaby's Curtis Moss won the javelin throw with this 81-meter bomb. That's just short of the Canadian record and just short of an Olympic berth. That 81 meters, though, was a personal best. Dylan Armstrong holds the meet record in shot put, and he sets a new one here with this very first throw. Mark it. 21 meters even. Armstrong won the competition handedly and is well positioned for the podium in London.
We're extremely happy. We've changed the program now, and muscle a little sore, a little tired. So, but that's that's definitely normal, and I'm really happy to be here once again. The fans are great in Victoria as always, and I know I always say this, but it's just great to have the kids right close and actually see what we do. So it's awesome.
And speaking of awesome, there's Victoria's Deanne Cummins. She took a crack at the Olympic A standard in the 800 meters, but the meet record holder fell short, placing third. Melissa Bishop of Ontario won the event, a top 3 finish at Nationals next week in Calgary, and she's off to London.
Our national trials are coming up, and if I'm in the top 3, then I can go to London. I've already made my A standard about 10 days ago, so hopefully I'll be on my way.
I love being here. I have so many friends in the stands cheering me on, and I wish I could have won, but I got to kind of let that go a little and just enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Well, everybody loves a parade, and today's Stanley Cup Parade through the streets of LA was fit for the Kings. Thousands of hockey fans turned out to celebrate the franchise's first Stanley Cup championship win. A double-decker bus and a massive silver and black flatbed carried the cup through the streets of downtown LA. Kings captain Dustin Brown hoisted the cup high above his head once again, ending 45 years of frustration for Kings fans. Now, this is and always will be Laker town, but it's nice to see the Kings finally get their day. Lord Stanley has already made quite the tour of LA, hitting the talk show circuit and making an appearance at Dodger Stadium on Tuesday night. And here as well, many bubbly beverages have been sipped from the Stanley Cup, but this may be a first and is certainly the cutest. Dustin Brown's 2 sons, Jake and Mason Brown, were videotaped blowing chocolate milk bubbles in Lord Stanley's mug in their Spider-Man PJs at the family home on Tuesday. That's adorable. We know Willie Mitchell will be taking the cup to Port McNeill, where his home is, but last night he and Jarrett Stoll and a handful of other Kings, and David Beckham, took the cup on tour. They partied with the cup at Beecher's Madhouse at the Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood. UFC legend Chuck Liddell was there to meet them, as were the Little Kings, a group of fans dressed like Oompa Loompas. Now, the cup has curfew and was whisked home at midnight. Something tells me that Willie and the boys didn't follow suit. Well, the BC Lions kicked off the exhibition season last night at BC Place, and the defending Grey Cup champs did a real good job at making the Saskatchewan Roughriders look real bad. They did so with their number 2 under center. Quarterback Mike Riley threw for 3 TD passes in the 44-10 routing. And sticking close to quarterback Travis Lulay on the sidelines is Jordan Yance. The VI Raiders pivot dressed in his first ever pro game last night. Yance never saw the field during the game, but looked right at home when he took warm-up under the lights at BC Place.
As far as, at this point, where I am in camp, it's all about mental reps and like I said, learning how to be a professional. And, like I said, when those guys come off the field and take their reps, I'm asking them questions as far as, what were your reads on that and how did you, what was your progression and how do you get things done and blah, blah, blah. And, those are the things that they teach me and those are the things that I want to enhance in my game. So, I keep learning every day that I'm here, and I can't really complain about it.
You look pretty good in orange, too. Did you feel good in orange?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was obviously something for me to be, on the sidelines against the Riders was definitely pretty cool. And obviously to be on the winning side, it was okay. And, orange doesn't go too bad with my orange hair, so it went pretty well.
The Lions' next exhibition game is 1 week from today when they take on the Edmonton Eskimos in Edmonton, and whether Jans is going along for the ride to Alberta is unknown. Eventually, he will be returned to the VI Raiders for his final season of junior football. And watch for the CJFL's most outstanding player to shatter more league records, armed with a whole new playbook, a professional attitude, and some unfinished business to attend to. We'll hear more from Jans during Vancouver Island Report. We'll call it a wasted opportunity for Italy today at Euro 2012. The Italians watched a second-half lead evaporate versus Croatia and had to settle for the 1-1 draw. That's 2 draws in 2 games for Italy, who sit third in Group C standings. Well, at the very least, Italy can say, at least we're not Ireland. No luck for the Irish today against the Spaniards. Fernando Torres led the charge in a supercharged offensive display. Here's his first effort, blasting it past the hapless Irish keeper. Then watch the patience of David Silva, making a mockery of the Irish back line. That made it 2-0. Torres would add another later in the second half as Spain cruises to a 4-0 win to claim a share of first place in Group C with Croatia. That is why they are the World Cup champions.
They just might win this thing. That's who I picked.
That's your pick in your pool?
Yeah.
Not Germany? A lot of people pick Germany to win this one.
I think Spain's going to do it.
Let's talk a little bit more football.
Now you were talking about the Lions. We want to say, and the folks at Mount Doug and the Rams football program want to say a big thank you tonight. We showed you a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I guess, the kids pushing the car into the
boys of the gridiron.
Steel Pacific, and then this was the scene out by the cave behind the school where the football players do their thing. The response has been overwhelming. They have raised about $10,000 or more, and this is enough to wipe out the deficit that the Rams team had racked up with 5 teams going to the provincials in the last 3 years, and the only AAA team on the island, so a lot of travel. You have until tomorrow to get an order in for pickup of scrap. They'll do it until the end of June, but anything after tomorrow they can't get. So
perfect. So call
thanks
those
to everybody.
Rams.
Yeah. Cleaned up a lot of yards with that one.
I bet. That's a lot of junk and scrap metal.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.